One of the most effective ways to master English is by analyzing current events. News stories offer authentic, dynamic, and constantly updated material that reflects real communication, real opinions, and real language in action. Instead of memorizing vocabulary lists or repeating artificial dialogues, learners who engage with news articles, interviews, and global reports develop a living connection to the English language. Every headline, every sentence structure, and every expression in the news represents the pulse of how English is spoken and written in today's world. When students begin to analyze current events, they start to recognize the nuances of tone and purpose. For example, a news article uses objective and factual language, while an opinion column may use persuasive or emotional language. This contrast helps learners understand how different text types serve different functions. It also trains critical thinking, a key skill not only in language learning but in global citizenship. Analyzing news allows students to interpret information, compare sources, and question biases, all while expanding their vocabulary and grammatical awareness. Another advantage of using current events is the exposure to a variety of accents and registers. News broadcasters from the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, and other English-speaking regions bring diversity to pronunciation and style. By listening to multiple sources, learners become more adaptable in understanding global English. This adaptability is essential in an interconnected world where communication often crosses borders and cultures. Analyzing current events in English exposes learners to a wide range of vocabulary related to politics, economics, science, culture, and society. Unlike traditional textbooks, which often rely on predictable topics, the news introduces unpredictable, relevant, and challenging terms. By studying these words in context, learners understand not only definitions but also tone, connotation, and collocation. For instance, reading about economic recovery, diplomatic relations, or artificial intelligence breakthroughs helps learners understand how these terms are naturally used in real sentences. Another important aspect is the learning of idioms and expressions commonly found in journalistic writing. Phrases such as "on the brink of," "sparks debate," or "under fire" appear frequently in headlines. Recognizing these expressions enhances reading fluency and helps learners decode the emotional undercurrents of media language. When learners use these expressions in their own writing or speech, they sound more natural and confident. Beyond vocabulary, analyzing current events cultivates a global mindset. English is not just a subject, it is a bridge connecting people from different cultures. By reading international news, students encounter different viewpoints on the same event. For example, an economic policy might be praised in one country but criticized in another. This teaches learners to approach language critically, recognizing how culture shapes interpretation. It also reminds them that mastering English is not only about fluency but about understanding context and perspective. To truly master English by analyzing current events, consistency and method are key. Learners should build a daily routine around authentic sources. Reading one short article every morning can do more for fluency than hours of memorization. Reliable English language news outlets, podcasts, and educational channels provide a constant stream of material. The goal is not to understand every word, but to grasp the main idea, identify new vocabulary, and reflect on the message. A useful method is active reading. This means engaging with the text by highlighting keywords, noting down unfamiliar phrases, and summarizing each paragraph in your own words. Then, learners can turn those notes into discussion questions. For example, after reading about global climate agreements, they might ask, "Do you think governments are doing enough?" Or, "What can individuals do to help the planet?" These questions encourage conversation, helping learners think in English rather than merely translate from their native language. Writing reflections after reading or watching the news is another valuable practice. Keeping a news journal in English allows students to track progress over time and develop their writing voice. Each entry can include a brief summary of an article, key vocabulary, and a personal reaction. Over weeks or months, the improvement in both fluency and insight becomes visible. Analyzing current events also prepares learners for real-world communication. In job interviews, academic discussions, or international networking, being able to discuss current issues confidently in English is a mark of intelligence and awareness. It shows that the speaker not only knows the language but also understands the world.